Nate and I were talking in between games. We went from feeling really confident to somewhat comfortable to, what's happening? So in this game, just talk to me about how it went from such a good lead and defensively to kind of scrapping and finishing the game well.
Well, the whole game I thought we played really good defense. Offensively in the first half we struggled to convert, but I didn't feel like we were horrible. We didn't take horrible shots. We just couldn't make the shot. But I told our team at halftime we're going to keep up the good defense and the percentages will catch up. And they did. In the second half we more than doubled our percentage, shot 50% in the second half, averaged I think 32% or so for the game, which was quite an improvement over the first half. Defensively, I thought we still played really, really well. They hit some shots as well. The problem was we turned the ball over, and we shot at a 50% clip in the second half, but we didn't give ourselves enough possessions. We really got tense and tight as the game. They hit a couple shots, cut it to 12 pretty quick, and then all of a sudden from there it was a game, and we got tight and really made some poor decisions, just bringing the ball up the floor. But to their credit, they kept fighting. Our effort was there the whole game, and nobody had a great game, but the team all contributed at times. Just different individuals hit big shots. I think Breezy hitting the three. Maggie hit a three there toward the end that was at a key time. Hannah, doesn't show up all game, but then comes in and hits great free throws at the end. So everybody chipped in, and we end up with a W. So it's a little disappointing that we had so many turnovers there at the end, and the game got as close as it did. But the effort was there. The rebounding in the second half was really good. We overcame our rebounding deficit at halftime, and that's one of our goals every game. So, overall, really, really happy with the effort. The execution could use some help there at the end for sure, but happy overall.
The high pressure defense from them, particularly in the second half, really seemed to get to us from an offensive standpoint. So during some of those timeouts, what are you saying? What were we doing wrong in those instances?
Well, that was one of the disappointing things. We're calling timeouts and setting up the press break, and then to go out and not execute is disappointing. And I'm thankful for referees for one thing that officiate games, and they aren't able to pressure the whole game, or else they're going to foul out. And that was a good thing, and something that held them back from doing it the entire game. There were times when we would pass out of the double team, and then we need to attack out of that, and we didn't. But it's a great thing to learn from and go on from there. So,
Faith, we'll talk to you, and then we'll talk to Kourtney. But kind of taking a step back from the game, kind of as you put your jersey on tonight, knowing that this was kind of the last one. What were some of the emotions and things that were going through your head as you were preparing for your final home game?
Well, at first I didn't quite realize that it was my last game until I actually got out there. I was a little sad, and I, took a picture of my jersey. I'm like, oh, last time I'm going to put this on. But then I got out there and I was like, oh, wait, this is the last time that I'm playing on this court, with my teammates like this. So I was pretty sad about that, but I can just think back and look and see all that it took to get to this point. And so bittersweet, but it was pretty sad, but it was really nice to have, my other seniors here, and just to be able to stand with them and say, guys, we are seniors and we're here at this point,
And to win the game like you did
as yeah.
Well. The motto for you guys kind of this year has been not leaving a legacy. As you have played 3 years now with the program and are graduating, what is one thing that you are going to look back and say that you're very proud of this particular thing that you left as a player?
I think showing that, working hard, even when things don't always seem to go your way, just continue to work hard and know your place and know what you're going to do and do the best that you can in every situation, and be encouraging to your other teammates. When you see one of them down, how that feels, and so bring them up and encourage them, because you can make a difference in the way that they play, and that's a part of being a team and having that connection with your other teammates. We're a team, it's not an individual thing. So pushing them and making them better, that's the big goal.
Kourtney, kind of the same questions, kind of going back when you put your jersey on, kind of preparing for the game, going through warm-ups and that kind of thing. What's going through your mind?
I was super sentimental to begin with. I mean, obviously, I've played for 3 years, and it has been one of the best experiences that I've ever had. And it's a very special thing to me. Basketball is, but my team is, playing for the Bruins is extremely special. So I think I put a lot of pressure on myself before the game because I didn't want to regret anything. I didn't want to look back and wish that I had given more or played better. And for a little bit, it kind of got to my head. I think I was just putting too much pressure on myself. And actually, something that Coach said in the locker room before really helped me. He said, we're never guaranteed a perfect game, and we're not going to achieve perfect basketball play, but we can achieve a perfect effort. We can give it everything that we have. That's something that we can control. I can't always control every basket that goes in or every rebound that I pull down, but I can control how hard I work for it. And kind of going into what you were asking, Faith, before, I think that is one thing that I will definitely hold on to as coming out of this program, as that we can only control the things that we can control. And I think that's a motto for basketball, but also for life. And I can control my effort, I can control my reactions, I can control how I respond to situations in life, or how much work I'm going to put towards something, towards a goal. And that impacts other people as a result of motivation, as a result of personal discipline. It's super special to play college basketball, and very few people get that opportunity. But even fewer people get the opportunity to play for the Bruins, and I have had that, and it has been just awesome. It's sad, but it's great to have something that I'm going to miss so much. So.
Well, before we all start crying, let's
Yeah.
get back
Sorry.
let's get back into the X's and O's of the game.
Yes.
You were in played a lot of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think defensively was the biggest difference between us in the first half and only allowing, I think 13 points is the lowest we've allowed anybody all year. 13 points in the first half to 37 in the second half. What was defensively? What were we doing?
I think a little bit changed in our mind offensively, which kind of reflected on our defense. I mean, obviously, in the first half, we were not scoring a lot either. And so I think having that pressure on us that we weren't converting on offense, so we had to protect even more on defense, was a little bit of a factor. I think that moving into a 2-3 and getting comfortable with working with a 2-3 defense really helped, specifically the lower half of the defense, the 3, 4, and 5 positions. At least that really helped me. So getting more comfortable with their style of play, knowing where they're going to go with the ball, just as a result of repetition. So.
All right, Coach. Closing it out here, I'm going to ask a game question and then more of a sentimental question. But kind of a game question. The season's not over. We just played our last home game. Now we look ahead to the region playoffs. Looking likely that we're going to get CIU as an opponent. So as we take what we learned from this win and prepare for the region playoffs, what are we taking for that as we prepare for them?
Well, first it's great to have the regional win. This is a regional opponent, and Southern Wesleyan is a great opponent for us. They're a step up in a lot of ways, and they played really hard tonight. Things didn't go their way, shots didn't fall, but they showed a lot of character coming back the way they did, forcing turnovers and then getting themselves back in the game after being down by 19, I think, at one point. So that's a sign of character on their team as well. And we got to be ready for whatever at regionals. It does appear that we're going to be playing Columbia International, and we've played them twice. We've been fortunate enough to defeat them twice. But it's a very, very difficult thing to beat a team 3 times in season, and so we're not walking into this thinking we have this. We've got to be prepared. They're certainly not going to walk in and go, well, they're going to beat us again. We've got to go out there and do the work, and again get back to the little things. And that's what we're working on for the next week and a half, getting ready. And come March 12th, I think it is. We've got to be ready to step up and play. We won't get past that first round, but it's exciting to be where we're at, sitting in the region, you know, the job's not done obviously until the last game of the season, but we'll be ready and you know, get focused for that game.
As you kind of look ahead now and also look back, as you see, you know, 2 players, and I know Abby's not here as well, but as you look at 3 players that are not going to be on the team next year, you know, as a coach, how important is it to have seniors in the leadership and that kind of thing, and what are you going to remember most about these 3 particular seniors?
Boy, that's a lot of questions. Well, I mean, it's great to have seniors. When we started the program, which this is just our 3rd year, and we had a group of sophomores. You know, Faith was among those, Kourtney, Bree Bullard, you know, and then there was Trish Irving was there, and there was a great group of sophomores that we had to build around. And it's amazing the difference in maturity from freshmen to seniors. There's a old joke in coaching: when's the best time to play a freshman? Well, when they're a senior. So you don't play freshmen, you know. But even just from year 1 to year 2, there's maturity, and honestly, to sit here and hear Faith talk about being committed and being a good team player and take care of the things that she can take care of, and she's there every day in practice working extra hard. She's here throughout the week, taking extra shots, and she might not get as much playing time as somebody else on the team, but she knows what it takes, and she knows what commitment means. And she's a great teammate. And I told the team some time ago, maybe in the last couple of days, something along the lines of, what other team do we face that has somebody of the quality of character and maturity in their character that we have coming off the bench in a Faith? And then, not to mention the basketball ability. It's not that she's not a good player. She is a good player. She's a college basketball player. But she also has that maturity, that was a great asset to the team and a vital function. And you look back at Bree, who graduated in December, and missing her as a senior, and then Kourtney leaving. We had these captains, and Courtney's the last remaining one for 3 years. So it's going to be tough to replace. That's a big hole to fill. But we also talked about in leaving a legacy that you set up your successor for success. And we talked about that with David and Solomon, and how David set up the temple to be built. And so that's part of their legacy too, is they can look back. We had Kim Speaker here tonight, who graduated last year. And part of the victory, she never got to beat Southern Wesleyan, but she was here tonight to see it. And that's part of her legacy, is she started the program and was a vital part of it too. So the success that we have from here on out will be due in large part to these young ladies that have laid the foundation, and we can build on that. And to hear these ladies talk, it is a big difference from freshmen to seniors, and they get it, and they get that there's a bigger game than the game of basketball, even though it's a very great game to play, and we all get involved in it emotionally and that kind of thing. There's also bigger things in life going on, and it takes a while sometimes to get that, just like it takes a while to develop as a basketball player. But it's been a pleasure to coach them. It's sad to say goodbye, but it's also exciting to see them take those next steps in their life.